Good evening, Dominica, and welcome back to EmoNews Nightly Package for 14th of January 2026. I am your presenter, Soana Benjamin. In the headlines this evening, the ERC hosts public forum on U.S. visa restrictions, environmentalists and others voice concerns at Dwash mitigation briefing, Dominica Athletics Association announces strategic partnership with Niagara Water. Grenada Tourism Authority CEO Stacey Liebert named to her network's 2025 Women of the Year list. And crane falls on passenger train in Thailand, killing 22. These stories and more coming up.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job ever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new Blast up and rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
First up in local news. During a briefing on mitigation measures at the Dwash excavation site, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford attended to represent the voice of her people and raised several concerns with government authorities. Chief Sanford requested access to the environmental and social impact study, the planning permission letter, and reports indicating that the area contains the best quality rock for the project. She also called for proper consultation with all parties involved, emphasizing the need to fully understand the potential impact of the excavation on the Kalinago territory and its people.
As Indigenous people, we are governed by laws and rules, and one of the things is free, prior, and informed consent. And no one reached out to the council, so I just wanted to find out if within that assessment, whether any consideration was given to our community or the impact it would have on that community. So the question is, can you make available to us? Because when I came here, I was expecting 3 things. I asked the Prime Minister yesterday when I met with him and his team for 3 things. 1, the environmental social impact study, that we need to have a copy of it. Secondly, we need to have the confirmation letter from planning saying that they have to go ahead to do the project. And thirdly, the reports stating that this is the only area you can get the best rocks. So we need this information in order to be able to work with you. And we also need to have consultation. It's really disappointing, like I said, to be here the first time having a conversation on the media about this whole project. There are areas within the territory that have land slippage. In Mahod River and Salibia, people had to evacuate certain areas to be able to move to be safe. How is the destruction of this area where they're going to use dynamite, if they're going to or not, going to impact these other areas, how it's going to affect them? So there's a disaster risk attached as well. And that is why it's so important we are able to get the environmental and social impact study, particularly to do with the Kalinago territory.
At the same time, environmental advocate Janelle Brisbane, who was also present during the briefing, raised questions and expressed concerns to the relevant authorities. Brisbane emphasized the need to protect the area and called on the government to make all related documents publicly available, underscoring the importance of transparency and environmental stewardship.
What I would like to ask is, especially to the Ministry of Environment and to my forestry colleagues, as once being a part of the Ministry of Environment, Again, the official maps of the Commonwealth of Dominica have clearly expressed that this area has already encroached on the Northern Forest Reserve. I would like to know, because this area has already encroached, one of your mitigation strategies speaks about the buffer zone to the Northern Forest Reserve and that we are bordering, but the official maps already show that we have taken out forest cover within the Northern Forest Reserve. So if that is the case, which the official maps show and the markings on the ground also show, then we have already gone against the mitigation strategy for a 50-meter buffer zone because we are already inside the park. So in that case, what are you all planning to do with that information? How are you planning on bringing back that 50-meter buffer zone and restoring the parklands?
In other local news, the Electoral Reform Coalition, ERC, held a public forum on Tuesday, January 13th at the Dominica Public Service Union Conference Room. The forum addressed the visa restriction and visa bond imposed by the United States on the people of Dominica, as well as Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Scarrett's agreement with the U.S. to accept deportees into the country. Leaders of Dominica's 4 political parties delivered presentations alongside immigration attorney Miss Tamika Jude and other Dominican civic leaders and professionals, both in the diaspora and at home. During the forum, Carlos Charles of the United Dominica Party, TUD, stated that the only way to resolve the situation was through a change of government.
Dominicans, to fix this predicament, it's easier than we think. We simply need to replace the government officials with people who have fresher and more progressive ideals and will restore the fortunes of our blessed nature isles. The issue of third country U.S. deportees, of course, it's serious, but we believe that our government had little or no choice in the matter. This is mainly due to what some may say are unforced errors with the CBI. However, we cannot go back and expect to move forward. When a new government is elected, we will renegotiate this present arrangement. In fact, you, the people, are the main stakeholders in the country. You will have a say in what the new Dominican government will do going forward. TUD expects that the new Dominican government will satisfy the areas of concern, read the CBI, thus returning dignity and a level of sovereign pride to the Dominican citizenship.
Attorney Joshua Francis further explained the visa restrictions and issues surrounding Dominica's Citizenship by Investment program.
Is to follow from what the United Kingdom has done. As you know, of June of year before, United Kingdom imposed visa restrictions on Dominica. Norway has since imposed restrictions on CBI citizens. Those with passports, is the citizenship by investment purchasers, those who obtain passports from Dominica, they are restricted from entering Ireland and Norway. And the EU has imposed, or not imposed, but has issued threats that should we not make certain changes to our CBI program, that likewise will be restricted from having free access. So if that's the case, it means that less revenue will be generated from the CBI program. And that could cause serious economic catastrophe here in Dominica, because public spending depends heavily on the CBI. As we have heard, the Prime Minister and his cabinet has told Dominicans a number of times, if not CBI, then what? In the last 25 years, this government has failed to diversify the economy. We did not learn from the banana industry at a time when we appeared to have been heavily dependent just on banana. We call that monoculture. And you remember deceased Rizzy Douglas going all over the island, educating us on the reason why we needed to diversify our economy. And one would have thought that this government would have learned so much money from CBI. Yet we do not have the factories. We don't have agro-processing. Our exports have declined. Our imports have increased. Government spending is fueled mainly by CBI. So we are in a very vulnerable situation. And as such, if the situation concerning the visa restriction continues, then we better tie our waist, particularly in the public service.
The leader of the Dominica Freedom Party outlined the reasons he believes Dominica is in its current position.
And lazily and uncreatively choose to ignore the fact that a real economy is built on agriculture that feeds and exports, tourism that reflects quality and integrity, education that produces innovators, manufacturing services, technology, hard work, no shortcuts, ingenuity, creativity, innovation, not dependency. But instead, what were we offered for the past 25 years? And that's another thing they like to talk about. Boy, Mr. Give us stability. It is an illusion of stability. Because all we were doing was somehow paying the bills through selling our true wealth, our citizenship to pay the bills. It's an illusion of stability. Stability, allegedly, through selling what should never have been sold. And what happens to all illusions? What happened to all smoke and mirror tricks? They eventually collapse, as they're always destined to do, and as they're collapsing now. So my friends, this is not a policy failure, you know. This is a moral failure, a leadership failure. Leadership is not about how much money you can bring in any way or any fashion. Leadership of a country should be about what kind of country you leave behind. And what kind of country has this current government left behind, or is living behind, if we do not do something about it? So tonight I ask you, will we continue down the road of expediency, or will we return to the road of dignity? Will we remain a nation for sale, or become a nation of builders? Nation builders, we should all be. And you should absolutely demand from your leadership and seek in your leadership the character, the quality to build nations, not to build wealth, allegedly, for self. And that is what this is about. And that is what I am appealing towards here today.
United Workers' Party leader Dr. Thompson Fontaine also shared remarks, stating that the country must be fixed and called for change at the next general election, while urging action from the Electoral Office.
To really deal with this situation. And let me tell you how. The way we deal with the situation that we're in right now is to make sure that at the next general election, the Labour Party of Roosevelt Skerrit is no more. As simple as that. Now already, and I'll just segue just a little bit from the topic tonight, which is the ban on us. Already, we can see the makings of the stealing of an election by trying to disenfranchise thousands of our voters by saying that they must get a passport. You need a passport to travel. You don't need a passport to confirm your name on the list. Passport is a travel document. So why should you impose a burden on a Dominican who is not going anywhere, and even now, even worse now, they can't go to the United States. They may not be able to travel to the French islands. They already cannot travel to Canada or to England as freely as before. So all of most of the choices have been cut off. And yet you want to impose a burden on they having to get a passport to confirm. Already they're trying to steal that. But let me just remind the Electoral Commission that they must not disenfranchise any single voter in this country, that they must allow the registration to go forward, the same registration that they have halted illegally, because our Constitution and our electoral laws calls for continuous registration. It is a legal right. It is the right of every Dominican having attained the age of 18 to register to vote. That is a right that is enshrined in our Constitution. And the Electoral Commission is doing everything possible to prevent the young people from voting. Because increasingly, the young people of Dominica are saying that they will not support this Labour Party. They will not support the misery under which they have to live every day. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we need to take those matters seriously, because at the end of the day, it impacts every single one of us.
Joining virtually, former Public Service Union leader Alvin Thomas described the situation as embarrassing and sad for Dominica.
Mothers cannot visit sick children. Children cannot see aging parents. Grandparents are missing funerals. Students are losing opportunities. Workers are losing jobs. Businesses are losing partners. And our people are living in emotional distress, fear, and uncertainty. In the United States, Dominicans are calling, crying, and asking, what is happening to our country? Why are we being treated like this? Why is Dominica now on the list of problem countries? It is painful, it is embarrassing, and it is also unacceptable. We ask the questions, how did we get it? And we must be honest with ourselves. We did not arrive here by accident.
The forum was held under the theme Call to Action for Dominica. And more wins for locals. At the final National Bank Supermarket Sweepstake held at Issa Trading Limited, winner Miss Mary Rose Labad shared her excitement and gratitude after claiming her prize.
How does it feel to be a winner? So tell me a little bit about what you did that got you here to. Well, yes. Oh, no, that is, we never tired of seeing him because he is one of the personal officers, loan officers at the National Bank of Dominica. We'll talk to you a little bit. And you entered into the draw and you won. When you got back home, how did you feel? Yeah. Yes, I love it. I love that. So you got that. Yes. Okay, so we are so excited that you won. Have you guys, mommy, have you scouted that you know what you have your strategy? What is the strategy for you? Alright, so canned food first and then where?
Personal Loan Officer Mr. Zachariah Maxim offered brief remarks on the promotion and its impact.
I'm doing very great. I'm pleased to know that most of my customers won. I'm very proud of them. And for all of you who participated, maybe you did not win, maybe next time you'll be a lucky winner. And you can still go to the National Bank for your personal loan and for your credit card. We have carnival season starting just around the corner. Carnival is basically there already. So now is the time to come and apply for your credit card with the National Bank or your personal loan. We will continue to be your partner and your bank.
The sweepstakes spree officially brought the curtains down on the National Bank of Dominica's supermarket sweepstakes promotion. Previous sweepstakes were held at S-Mart Shopping Center and Big W Wechurch at Canefield, marking a successful series of events for the bank and its customers. And finally, in local news, we turn to Calypso. Stardom Tent opened its doors tonight at the factory on Valley Road. Let's hear from the PRO of the Dominica Calypso Association, Peter Lita.
Yeah, I looked up the definition of Wednesday, the 14th of January 2026, and you know what I found? The opening of Stardom Tent, the opening of the biggest tent, the opening of the tent that houses 9 of the last 11 monarchs, the reigning monarch, the tent that has 5 of the last 7 road matches. I mean, tonight is all about Stardom Tent. I'm urging everyone, come down to the factory on Valley Road. We starting bang on time, 8:30. Come warm up yourself with Calypso and more Calypso. Come feel the vibes. Come get prepared for the quarterfinals on Saturday. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight is all about Stardom 10th at the factory on Valley Road. Entrance fee only $40, VIP $50. It's Stardom, Stardom, Stardom. Sponsors, Big Edge Financial, NCCU, Josephine Gabriel, Central Credit Union, Arturo Sports, DBS Radio, Kyrie FM, QFM, Vibes Radio. Stardom, Stardom, Stardom.
And that's it for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news.
We're at the different phases in life. We move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping. The new job's starting, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent due dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
And originally, in Antigua and Barbuda, residents are being encouraged to sign up for the Plant to Plate backyard gardening competition, which is offering cash prizes of up to $7,500. The initiative is part of the government's push to boost household food security, reduce dependence on imported produce, and lower the cost of living. The competition is open to both new and existing backyard gardeners, with registration available online. Top prizes include $7,500 for first place, $5,000 for second, and $3,500 for third. Participants will also receive technical support through agricultural extension services as part of the program. And in Grenada, congratulations are in order for Stacey Liebert, Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Tourism Authority, who has been named to her network's 2025 Women of the Year list, joining an international group of women recognized for leadership and impact. Under the 2025 theme, The Year of Her Power, the award honors women driving meaningful change through purpose-driven leadership. Liebert is being recognized for her role in advancing Grenada's tourism sector through innovation, collaboration, and inclusive growth. As CEO, she has strengthened destination competitiveness and market diversification, positioning Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique as high-value, authentic destinations on the global stage. Liebert says the recognition reflects not just her journey, but the collective efforts of her team and partners, and she is proud to represent Grenada in global leadership conversations. The honor further elevates Grenada's presence within international tourism and leadership circles. And once again, congratulations to Stacey Liebert. And that's all for regional news. In a few minutes, we will bring you international news. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump says the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, is irrelevant to the United States, arguing it mainly benefits Canada as he pushes for manufacturing to return to the U.S. Speaking in Detroit, Trump said the U.S. does not need cars made in Canada or Mexico, despite automakers warning the agreement is vital to North American supply chains and billions in savings. The USMCA, which replaced NAFTA in 2020, is up for review this year, with markets showing mixed reactions among major U.S. automakers. And in more international news, civil rights pioneer Claudette Colvin has died at the age of 86. Her family foundation says she passed away of natural causes in Texas. Colvin was just 15 years old in 1955 when she was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a segregated Montgomery bus 9 months after Rosa Parks' more widely known act of defiance. Her arrest came amid growing anger over segregation on city buses and helped lay the groundwork for the Montgomery bus boycott. Colvin later became a key plaintiff in the landmark court case that ended bus segregation in Montgomery, a ruling that helped launch the modern civil rights movement and elevate the leadership of the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Though her role was long overlooked, Montgomery's mayor says Colvin's courage helped shape a movement that changed America, reminding the nation that history is built by many voices, not just the most famous ones. And finally, in international news, a crane fell on a passenger train in Thailand, killing at least 22 people and injuring dozens. The authorities said there were almost 200 people on board when the accident happened northeast of Bangkok. And that's it for international news. We'll be right back with the sports news. First up in sports news, in school football action which took place yesterday, January 13th, the Dominica Grammar School recorded a dominant win in Game 1 of the Under-14 Division game. The Dominica Grammar School defeated the Northeast Comprehensive 6-0, with Kalani Benjamin scoring a brace. Further goals came from Nikwan Johnson, Tylan Theophile, Sherwin Dangler, and Kevin Murray. And in the second match in the Under-15 Division, the Portsmouth Secondary School secured a 3-1 victory over PHL Secondary. Goals for Portsmouth came from Edric Augustine, Jaden Thomas, and Kristen Popone, while Jaden Dura scored the lone goal for the PHL Secondary. In other sports news, the Secondary Schools Volleyball Championship 2026 serves off on Wednesday, January 14th, with a full slate of matches on the opening day. At the Convent High School grounds, Convent High School B will take on Wesley High School, followed by Convent High School A facing the Dominica Grammar School. Over at the stadium forecourt, Orion Academy meets the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School in both the girls and boys divisions. Meanwhile, at the PHL Secondary School grounds, the PHL Secondary will go up against the Dominica State College in girls and boys matches. It's the start of what promises to be an exciting championship as schools compete for early momentum. In more news, the Dominica Athletics Association has announced a strategic partnership with Niagara Water, locally distributed by J. Astafans and Company Limited, in a move aimed at strengthening athlete support and advancing the development of athletics across the island. Under the partnership, Niagara Water will supply bottled water to support the hydration needs of athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers across the Dominica Athletic Association's annual calendar of events, which includes track and field meets, road races, kids athletics programs, and developmental workshops. Dominica Athletics Association President Brendan Williams welcomed the collaboration, saying, "Proper hydration is critical to athlete health, safety, and peak performance," and noted that the partnership represents an investment not only in events, but in the future of Dominican athletics. The partnership also builds on the Dominica Athletic Association's legacy of producing top-tier athletes, such as Olympic and World Indoor Champion Thea Lafon, Carifta gold medalist Addison James, and Pan American Junior Games champion Trenise Hamilton. Niagara Water has been named the official hydration partner of the Dominica Athletics Association and will receive brand visibility across events and digital platforms. The collaboration is expected to have a positive and lasting impact on athletes at all levels across Dominica. And finally, in sports news, Shamar Joseph has taken a major step toward a competitive return, clocking speeds in excess of 85 miles per hour during supervised training sessions in Guyana. The 26-year-old fast bowler is in the final stages of a structured return-to-play program after a 5-month injury layoff, having been sidelined since the conclusion of the Caribbean Premier League in September. Joseph's absence followed a shoulder injury that required specialized assessment and treatment in England. Recent training sessions, however, under the guidance of Guyana Happy Eagles head coach Ryan Hercules, indicate that the pacer is regaining the pace and sharpness that propelled him to prominence in Test crickets. The timing of his recovery is crucial for West Indies team planning, with the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka scheduled to begin on February 7th. Ahead of the tournament, the West Indies are set to face Afghanistan and South Africa in a 3-match series, fixtures that could provide Joseph with an opportunity to complete his comeback at the international level. And that's all for sports news. Stay tuned for the weather reports from the Dominica Meteorological Service. And this has been EmoNews Nightly Package for January 14th, 2026. I have been your presenter, Soana Benjamin. Do have a lovely evening, everyone.